A lot of guys are having relationships long distance at the moment. We've had a lot of calls lately from guys not really wanting to be our client, but in long relationships. And they just want some advice about what they're doing and what's happening and how they can make it better. And is it legit is another question, but that's a video for another day because sometimes it's not. So we wanted to make a video for all you guys out there about how to long distance relationship correctly from our experience.
Yeah, we have this video for our clients in Ascent, and if you don't know, it's our educational program that we highly recommend to everyone. It was made for the clients, but if you're not, it will benefit you as well. It has a lot of useful information. So navigating relationship on a distance, it's the most problematic topic because usually people meet, they like each other, they talk, they have a great connection during the first call, second call, third call, and then something is going on because they can't keep going with communication as they run out of the topic and the communication going to the direction, hello, good morning, how are you, what are your plans for the day, good night, good morning, how are you?
That's one issue, but there are several, which we'll go through today. Okay, let's get started. So,
what is the second one?
Second what?
What issue? What other issue?
Why don't we continue through the list that I have created?
Okay. Okay, so I will not show you the list, but okay.
Now,
okay.
Before I was rudely interrupted, we will continue. So the important thing here, so this is number one, and there are 7 on here, I think. So number one thing that guys can sometimes do is that they're trying to get too much information and they're trying to build the relationship through, before they meet, through the long distance. So they try to tell too much about themselves and they give it all away because you still want to have that mystery, right? Because there's some information that you want to share with your potential future partner in person so you can have that moment. Yes? Mm-hmm. What do you think so funny about that? This is very good information. Thank you very much.
Perfect information. But
you want to have some mystery.
But the other thing that is like sometimes guys a little bit exaggerating what they do and what they have and how they live. And when they meet and when the lady figured out that there was, like the guy didn't actually lie, but he said something a little bit different, in different way, or he was saying too much about like how he spent this and this and this. And so later on she got disappointed that she in her imagination get into the different picture of how you live. And so when you meet...
Interesting way to say that, okay.
And when you meet or when she moved there, she feel light. She feel that you've been not honest with her, even though the only problem here is that you was telling her too much and she has no idea about like Western culture because you was telling her something, I was doing something like this, but in her imagination she was...
Yeah, what you're trying to do, if you're doing this, don't do it, is that you're trying to build that attraction really fast by saying the highlights of your life. But some of those should be kept as mystery. And you want to slowly release that information to her in a way that she thinks that she has figured it out.
Exactly. And the second one, I will give an example. It happened recently. The guy been talking to the lady, they're very attracted to each other, and the guy didn't want, because we have two extremes, like either the guy is very boring because he has no plans for the weekend, do nothing, and etc. And the second one is that they, like the guy is like too active and the lady is thinking he's just not serious. So this what happened. The guy was having some plans with his friends. He's working the whole week. On Friday night, he went to see his friends. He came home on Saturday. Came home, and on Saturday they went to some football game. I'm sorry, can I take it because there's some... Thank you.
I was saving that. Thank you.
Just kind of look and I see that. So, and the guy were like on Saturday they went to some football match and on Sunday they were supposed to have a call. And so he was trying to be interesting. He was telling that I have friends, I visit sports, so life with me will not be boring. This was his message. The lady read this message completely, sometimes ladies are clueless. She read it completely different. And when we spoke, she said, Luba, he's just not serious. He's all about going out, spending time with the friends and doing this and this, because this lady really wants to get married and want to have a child. Like she's 36 years old. She wants finally to find a man that is serious, not like playing games and etc. So because according to her previous experience, the guy was going out with the friends. It means drunk, it means drugs, it means dancing.
Just living life.
And this guy, he just said, I went for the dinner, I came home like at 10, 11 p.m. and then I went to bed, and then next day we went to the sport. So you need to understand that there should be certain filter between what you're saying, how you present this information, and you need to always remember that your information can be read a little bit differently.
Yeah, you want to play it safe, so just kind of tone it down a bit. When she meets you in person, then you can tell more about your life and all that sort of stuff, right? Because she also has this fantasy in her mind of what life would be like, and you don't want to fuel that fantasy if it's going to become irrational or just like, too much.
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay, so number 2, when we talk about the communication that you're doing over long distance, which is probably going to be video calls or texting, whatever, phone calls, fax machines.
Okay. We were talking yesterday on my live video with the girls about sexting, but you boring talk about
Faxting.
Faxting.
No, not faxting. Oh, yeah, that would have been what they called it back in the day. If you drew a naked picture of yourself, you would fax it to them, and that would be faxting.
But
not sexting.
I was so surprised with the sexologist's advice about sexting and about sending pictures. I was really impressed. I will tell you later.
Please do. Okay, so the communication should be about quality, not quantity. Because sometimes, quite often, if you're messaging every day and there's no substance to it, it's all about how was your day, what did you do today, how are you feeling, good morning, good night. This becomes really mundane. And there's no one says
Mundane?
it. Mundane, absolutely mun with a capital D, ain.
What is the word? I don't know.
Mundane, it's like boring, like monotonous.
Just a very, very, very bad word in Russian.
I could just...
It's just like the words. It's like the worst word that you can use for the girl.
Mundane.
It's okay.
Okay, so you need to think about
really
quality. And you don't have to message every day, good morning, good night. You don't have to do that, right? But if you are going to do that, you need to spice it up with quality. So, and I'll get to that one in the next one. So having less interactions that are of quality is a lot better than a whole bunch of interactions just to keep contact that are of low quality. Because she will eventually kind of get bored of that, and you will probably get bored of it as well.
Agree. And I will give an example because I have example for everything.
Good.
So I always advise Striker is super right, because actually we were the one who was even this rule about quality and quantity we even have now for the guys who are traveling to Europe. So before the guys were asking how long should I stay in Europe, and in Ukraine it was come to 10 days, 2 weeks, and etc. Now when the guys doing it themselves, we realize that better to have very quality 3-4 days when you do tours, when you're really hungry for each other, than having a weekend wobbling around again meet her or him. It just not that you don't like each other, just sometimes for the first time it's a little it's better to have this when you eat something super delicious and you want more, but you decided to
they've run out.
Leave the table a little bit hungry. So that is about this. And in some sort of extreme, we have a situation that happened to our client. He didn't want to use messengers because he said it's distracting, it's pointless, it doesn't have any meanings, these quick messages. I like to sit and I like to properly think of what I write. And he offered to communicate with his lady, he offered that to communicate via email. And the lady were just shocked, because for her it was very old-fashioned. Even the guy is not old and the lady is not old. In his mind, he wanted to have letters like his grandparents would have when they communicate during the war, something. But in her mind, it was he doesn't want to communicate with me. He's hiding something on his phone, so he doesn't want our communication to be on his phone. He wanted to be hidden on email. And so basically, she didn't want to continue. And then I have to go back to him and say, hey, please don't do it. She has her vision and assumption, maybe because of your past relationship, maybe because of your imagination. He didn't want anything bad. He wanted quality communication. So you need to always have this balance. The advice that I can give according to communication is little video messages. And you need to be the one who will start that. And remember, first of all, you need to be interesting for yourself. So the lady will enjoy that, and that will bring her good mood. And if you initiate the video messages, she will also do, even if your English is not so good, she will do a little video for you. That is the best way to communicate. And then on a weekend, for example, to have a proper 1-2 hour call and communicate on video.
Okay, so this one kind of follows on from that one. And this is, when you do have your quality interactions, think about them first, right? So don't just, you'll say, well, let's on Friday night, your Friday day, whatever, let's have a video call. Think about what you're going to talk about in that video call, because it's like a date, So, and then you need to think about the topics you're going to talk to her about. One thing, if you get stuck, and you've already spoken to her before, she would have talked about something that she's interested in, such as she likes to breed dogs, something like that, right? After the conversation, not breed with dogs.
It's your thing, sir. It's not mine.
Breed dogs together, and she just watches.
If you would not tell me about that, I would never know.
Well, it could be anything. She likes, I don't know, whatever, playing some sport, whatever, something that's unique and unusual, and she's really proud of that. If she's already told you that, before this interaction, go and do some research online, watch some documentary, ask ChatGPT, whatever. So you also know about that now. And then you can say to her, after you told me about how you're doing this thing with the dogs, I actually got interested and I went and looked at it. Then you can start to have a conversation, because what you want is her to be interested and engaged in that conversation, and now you're talking about something that she's interested in, right? And it leads to an interesting conversation that can lead off to other conversations as well, because the last thing you want to be doing is just having a mundane conversation with her, and she leaves the conversation not really wanting more. She's like, yeah, okay, that was enough. And when you say next time let's have a conversation, she's like, okay, I'll do it. Because the worst thing you can do with a woman is make her indifferent, right? Not even bored. Indifferent. They're probably the same thing.
Agree. And I will also give an example here that what happened once. So the guy read the profile, and I know that for you guys, ladies' profile is very, very important, because you always like read it, and it's like a very good base to start the communication, because knowing your interests, knowing your hobbies, like when you speak on the first time, it's a little bit easier for you that you can ask your, oh, so you like the horseback riding, or you like this, oh, you know what, I read in your profile that you like guitar, I also play guitar, so this is good. But some guys, they do a little bit deeper, and the way they say that, it's not like an asking question, because sometimes, maybe she was playing guitar when she registered, like she went on a class one time and she decided to put it down, but then actually she never continued, but she wanted to put it there to make it more interesting, or maybe she's done and she haven't. So it's better to ask like a fresh, like better to say, what about this, what you're interested in nowadays, because some ladies, for example, who moved to a different country, they've been doing something, but they don't do it right now. Mm-hmm. So, but some guys, they catch to the profile too much, and they start to kind of like possessively say that, hey, you say that you have this education, so this education, it means that you are this. So they're making assumptions, and the lady feels a little bit like the person done some investigation on her, and that feels very stressful. So try to have always friendly communication, and if she told you something, just said, like, I never heard of that, I went down and checked it. And it's very interesting, like I see the reactions of the guys and the ladies when the guys said, like, I read this book, and the ladies writing down the name of the book, or vice versa, right? And also, I don't know, do we have here like ideas for the dates? Be great. Oh, because he wrote and never showed it to me. Okay, yes. So yeah, that is what you should do. So Be friendly, be open, and be positive. Don't try to say that some ladies very scared to be controlled. And like I know that for the guys, it's like if the lady is like scared to be controlled, like maybe she's hiding something. It's not about hiding. It's that like Ukrainian lady looking for a relationship, not open relationship, but a relationship where both partners feel free, not like because they cheating or going somewhere. No, it's because they feel good with each other. They feel trust, and they don't need to check the phone, and they don't need, to check something. So that is the situation. Okay, what is next?
So that was quality interaction. Okay, yeah, make sure it's a good interaction. Okay, so also, even though it's long distance, you still have to bring the masculine frame, right? Because it can be difficult when you are further away, but it's really simple. We talk about number one quality you got to have is you got to have this masculine frame, and she will follow with her femininity, right? And that's much easier to do in person, but it also must be done long distance, and it can still be done because you're still taking care of her, right? No matter what it is. And we have to go through this with all of our clients to make sure that they still put themselves in a position where she's in her feminine and he's in the masculine, because I'll let you into a secret. Women do not fall in love with men when they are in the masculine, because if she's in the masculine, it automatically pushes him into the feminine, in the interaction. Women cannot fall in love in this state. There can be no chemistry. Yeah. It is impossible. It has never happened.
Unfortunately, on a distance, like it's very maybe unpleasant and discouraging to hear for you guys, but on a distance, sometimes you need to stay in your masculine role and put your, even not in a feminine role, but in a childish role.
Childish role?
I will explain why. So some situations might be, like I see within our clients, that some ladies are as you know, Ukrainians are very conservative, and it's very difficult for them to adjust to some differences, right? So, and different people, different, depends on like if she's been traveling, if she's been in different countries, she maybe know about this, maybe she doesn't, but most of the time they not really has so much experience in traveling, and so new culture, new food can be a little bit like for them like water with ice. Why there are so many ice? Like she doesn't understand that this is a culture. She doesn't know that this is just literally, it's not because they want to offend her, they want her to have a sore throat. No, it's a culture of drinking a cold water. But she can get angry. She can get like, why there? And I know that. I know that because I've done it when I came first time. Like, and many different things. Or like, why they're so cold? You know, she will not say it like, oh, you know, like it's kind of chill here. Like, unfortunately, women can't speak like that. I wish they could, but they can't. Or maybe
Ukrainian women can't speak like that. Or are you saying women in general?
No, but
they can.
They can, but they can't. You know,
they can, but they won't.
They won't. So and what's happening is the guy is looking at her and thinking, is she like what? Is she crazy? Like why she's yelling at the glass of water? Why she's yelling at the aircon? So you need to be patient. But patient, like if you look at her as a lady at this moment, you think she's crazy, she's mental. But if you look at her as a child, you think, okay, he didn't know, right? So I know it sounds discouraging and you don't want to talk to your lady like a child, but you have to in some sort of things, because you need to just understand that yes, we are stubborn, and honestly, like I have these scenes, right, like with Striker when he was like telling me something in Ukraine, and now he understands me more when we moved to here, and now he understands more that some things in Ukraine were not possible to do or not welcome to do, and he was telling me this as a person who never left in such condition, and so that's why we didn't understand each other. Now living in Spain, and when I come to him and say, Striker, I can't believe like that the roads are clean.
Oh, hang on. So when you're upset with something, you speak like that, but when someone else is upset, they're yelling at the cup.
I also was yelling at the cup.
Oh, the aircon is just... Yeah, it's actually true. Whenever you come to the office and the aircon is on, you do start yelling at it. The aircon? Yeah, push the button.
But you need to know my ideal temperature.
Yeah.
But anyway, like it's... and I will give one example, because if I'm going through examples, unfortunately I have example for everything. Guy communicating with a lady and they have misunderstanding according to the time difference. And so their communication, like the guy sent me their messages and there was like back and forth, let's meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock. But for him tomorrow is her yesterday, or her yesterday is his tomorrow or today. And like these hours is like today's what? Because like when you send the message, like you're sending it, for example, 5 p.m. and then like the person open it at 7 p.m. So what day should you mean? So, and that is like, and of course it's getting a little bit like, even when I was reading the message, I was like, oh my God, what are they talking about? So it make you anxious, like it's really do. But the guy, and we spoke with him about it, the guy taking the masculine role, and like that is most of the guys are doing, understanding, okay, there is an issue, we can't figure it out the time, because he say 8 p.m, she can't understand like why 8 p.m, he can't talk, you know, he's supposed to be at home, maybe he's going to some girl, you know, he means that here 8 p.m, that for him it would be middle of a day, and etc. So the guy taking masculine role, and the guy say, okay, I'm available from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. your time, that would be this and this on Tuesday, not yesterday, tomorrow, today, no, Tuesday. Better to say date, but if you're talking within, like if you're talking all the time, you say just the day, like day of the week. So it seems that like you don't want to think about such things when you communicate with a person. You want it to be like super easy, but at the beginning of the relationship, when you're making the terms and conditions of your communication, it's important, because if you will not have rules at the beginning, your relationship will be a mess. I promise.
You know, it's interesting. I've just been thinking about how you said to treat her like a child. You know, like had that mentality that you need to take care of everything. And it's actually an easy way. I never really thought about it like that before. So good work.
Can you please tell guys that I'm not yelling at the aircon? Why did you exaggerate it?
Oh,
they think that I'm crazy.
Well,
I say that it's cold, but I don't yell at the aircon. Okay, go ahead.
You stamp your foot on the ground when you say it rather loudly. Okay, so, and that's, yeah, so thinking that you need to take care of everything the same way that you would as if it was a child is actually a good way, even though it sounds a bit messed up, to push her into the feminine. Because in the same space as where she needs to be and where she wants to be, obviously you need to add something to that you know, that's going to make her feel like a woman, not like a silly, dumb child. But it's actually a good place to start, because I know that guys struggle with this masculine and feminine, and how to sort of navigate that, and maybe it's a little bit unnatural because they've never done it before. But it's actually a good place to start. So yeah.
It's even the way that how you speak with her, because we always like strike us,
Like
I
a
talk
child.
to her like a 6 years old, not because like say, please, you need to put this. No, you just according to the level fluency that you use. Don't use some complicated phrases, because she will literally not understand, and that will build more frustration. And when the lady is frustrated, she become a little bit and start yelling at the aircon. That's it.
Well, that would actually be growling at the aircon, or maybe even snarling.
We're using so many words today in you. Okay.
So, okay, the next one is, did we finish on that one?
Yes.
Yeah, so, but it could also come down to something like, she needs to book a train ticket or something like that. The moment that she says, I'll do it, and you say, okay, you do it then. That's it. She's in the masculine, you're in the feminine. That's it.
It's a little bit subjective. Better to call Mama Luba and she will figure it out, because like sometimes it's really impossible for the guy to do it, but with our clients we don't have this problem because we managing that. So the guy asking us and we do it. So definitely it should be done not by her.
Yeah, because when you meet, you want to make sure that you are in that frame as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of that. Okay, this one here, this one is risky. And this one is, do not make it sexual. If you haven't met, do not make it sexual. Do not send sexual photos, images, texts or anything like that. You can be a little bit flirty, like a little bit, say something very, very minute. But the reason why this is risky is because you've got a very, very small chance that it will pay off and be good. And there's a huge upside that you'll completely mess it up, and she's going to think, he's just coming here for sex. That's all he's going to. That's what he wants. I'm looking for a serious relationship. He's not serious. He has sex with lots of women, and I don't want to be one of those women. And the key here is that if it is going to turn sexual, you want to do it when you are together, when you can look at each other, smell each other, and then you want her, ideally, you want her to think that this is her idea. Right? Not that it's your idea and she has to okay, I'll do it. You need to somehow put it in a nice setting that she's thinking, I'm happy to do this. I want to do it.
People are different about that. And yesterday, when I had my lecture for the ladies with the sexologist, we discussed that, because I collected the questions from ladies. What are they like? What are they want to know from sexologists? And a lot of ladies say, I have some fantasies that I can't share with my man. I feel a little bit shy. I feel that he will not understand me. He will not want to do it, and etc. So, and she described that there are 3 types of people. There are people with a strong sexual, I don't know how it's in
drive.
English. Strong, middle, and low. So the man or the woman who has a high, they need sex a lot. They can have it multiple times a day, or they need it a lot. The middle one, it's 1, 2, 3 times a week, and they fine with that, they're happy. And the low, it's it's not that they are sick, it's just they don't need it that much, they don't get that much of it, so they need it once every week or once every other week or something. And so depends on the lady that you're talking. You may be very high, how you call it, high
sex drive.
Okay, high sex drive, and she has a lower, so it's a little bit more difficult. But when you meet and when you actually have sexual relationship, then discussing that and playing with that and flirting with that, it's so much better and easier, and the girls do that rather than you never met or you didn't have sex yet and you trying to push her for that. She feel pushed. Strike your love when I say this word. How you say?
Push.
So she feels pushed, and she doesn't believe, she starts to doubt your intentions, and that is not what you want. And I understand that some guys, they want, because it's a man, especially if he has a high drive, he wants to see some pictures. Never ask, honestly. Later on in communication you can, especially after you have sexual relationship. Before that, it's just not natural. If she send it to you by herself, okay. But if she is doing that, if you 100%
I have
sure
a
that
thought
it
on this. I have a thought.
legit,
Yeah.
but don't do it, because honestly it doesn't have good outfit. The ladies literally say he's a pervert, he's just looking for sex, he's not serious, and his intention is not, because woman doesn't want to feel like a piece of meat. We speak about this a lot.
Yeah. Also, we have to understand this. It's the basics. It's the fundamentals of dating. Is that men and women are attracted by different things. Right? We understand that because we understand what men do on the internet when they're trying to be aroused, and we understand what women do on the internet as well. And this is all well documented, is that they would read stories. They would read stories, love stories, and erotica stories, right? And this for them is how they want to be stimulated, right? Through words. What are you doing? Oh.
Calling you for...
Through words and through imagination, right? So by trying to do what we'd love to get a photo of a woman that's like, naked, that's... We, as a team, would like to get photo, and we think, wow, this chick's amazing, this is incredible. But
why would I want to see that?
Well, I wouldn't show you anyway, so don't even worry about it.
I have guys.
Okay. And I forgot what I was talking about then.
Sorry, that you would like to have a picture.
Yes, but it's different for a woman. For a woman, it's a bit more. I mean, like I'm sure that if she's on Instagram or anything like that, she's had photos that guys have sent to her before, right? And she's not like she's going, oh wow, this is incredible. I need to meet this guy, right? She's not thinking that. But if it was the other way around and it's a man gets these, he's like, oh wow, look at this woman. She's interested in me. She's sending a photo of herself naked or in a bikini.
For ladies on a distance, it's more than that, because honestly, unfortunately, like I mean, Striker saw my phone. So unfortunately, it's not our clients, but because like our Telegram is like open, I get like this, how you call it, dick pics, like not often, but quite a lot.
What does that tell you about the quality of some of the guys out there?
Unfortunately, but like, and then I look at that, I show him and I said, what do you think? And I mean, I just like, okay, what's the point? Like it's like the girls get it. Unfortunately, the girls get it a lot, especially if she has Instagram. Just like some stupid guy will just send it, like some stranger. And so for her, it's nothing. Like when it's like the subject that was inside this woman, and she feels special about that, then she will be happy to see it again. But not, when it never happened.
It's super risky to try and make it sexual too early. And here's my thoughts on a woman who is overly sexual before you've even met. It is a huge, huge, huge red flag. From what we've seen and from what I understand, if a woman is like love bombing you and trying to get you interested purely because she understands that sex is, what men think about, then and she's using that, be very careful, because it will go hot and then it will go cold and then you'll go, I don't understand what's happened here.
Because like even the guys who got scammed on the letter writing, they're writing to us, and like the question that like we just asked, like, does she say that she loves you? He said, yes. Okay, you asked me not to say this. He said, yes. She said that that she called me that she loves me, and she said that I'm her best man in the world, and etc. So what does it tell you? Like and if you're in touch with a Ukrainian lady that is legit, that you're like trying to build relationship, you know that she will never do that before you've met, especially in general, the lady will be very reserved to that.
Yeah, and if she's sending you something very sexual of nature,
she wants to get something of you.
Let me finish, please. I was not going to say this. If she's sending you something very sexual in nature earlier on before you have met, us men can't be so stupid to think that it's the first time that she's done it. Right? That's what I was going to say. Thank you for clarifying it for me in my head, giving me that extra time to say it. Okay, so the next one is number 6, is you have to be creative. Right? You're the man. Creativity and problem solving, they go hand in hand with each other. You should never be sitting there going, well, she didn't make it interesting, or she's not messaging me back when I message her, or when we talk on video, she doesn't really seem very interested. She doesn't say anything like she's interested in me. Okay, problem solving is how can you make that happen, right? Because I guarantee you, if you guys split up, she started talking to another man who made her feel like she is the interesting one in the conversation, that made her talk about her interests and what she wants in life. That guy's going to say about her, well, she's interesting. Right? Does that make sense what I just said? People, you know what I mean. So you need to be creative to like try and make this relationship work, because it is difficult and you need to do what most other men cannot do.
In our sense, we give advice, like I think this video is like the way too long to give advice how to be creative and give examples. So one thing I want to say that some guys like it's sunglass fallacy, and they worry that if they do something for the lady, then she may not receive it well, or maybe he will not get the feedback that he's expecting. For me, when you do anything, no matter what, you learning how to ride a bicycle, you cooking, every time when you make borscht or you do something, you're getting better, right? If you're not Striker, who never repeat his unique recipes. But so like, is it correct to say pumping skills or no? Because in Russian, this is the phrase. Like we call it bumping skills, pumping.
Pumping skills? It's
okay. So I will try. So you training. You make it, okay, you make an omelette. So first time it got stuck to the pan. Then the second time you put a little bit more oil. You try it, good, but next time you put like more cheese, some herbs, some salt. And so when you do this, when you create it, when you try stuff with the lady, maybe it will not work with this lady. Maybe you will think, oh, she's not receiving it well. Like I was expecting that she will jump up and down. You just basically training your skills. And trust me, like it will benefit you so much if you do it many times, and apparently like there would be a lady that will appreciate it. So do it for yourself and embrace your creativity rather than expecting that somebody will put you like a mark at school, like excellent job, you know. Just do it to enjoy. If you do it if you're enjoying that.
One thing I was going to mention here, which I completely forgot, is that topic of conversation is incredibly important, you know, and you don't want to have conversations where it's, you know, tell me about your job, or, you know, what do you do for a living, and, you know, just the basic mundane job interview type questions. And so you need to ask deep, interesting questions that when she goes away, she thinks, man, that was an interesting conversation. But really all you've done is you've made her feel interesting. And there is a way to do it, but it's quite difficult. So we're actually creating something, aren't we? We forgot to mention it.
Maybe you will stop saying mundane if you read the significance of this.
Mundane, mundane, it means, oh my goodness. Oh, sweet, good Lord. It's like, oh. Can I say what it is? Someone go, no. Okay, it is CUNT, PUSSY. Take it away. Keep going, we're almost there. So,
you're still watching.
So it's and so we've actually created. We're in the process of creating something that's going to help you guys do long distance
communication.
It's a new interesting product, isn't it?
Oh,
it's about this big.
Like,
so that's going to be available soon for our clients, and maybe other people can buy it as well if they want. Whatever. Okay. So the next one is the last one.
Let's say it and stop the video.
Okay. The next one is you need to relax and don't be paranoid, because it can easily happen on a long distance. This is the most important one, or one of them from here.
Take it easy and enjoy your ride. We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.